He is on Prep Esports right now. Alright, so guess I could have guessed that watching this, but anyway. Prep Esports, Blue Zerg, BYUL. And in the middle of the map, there's two barracks about to be spotted right here. There is a red Terran player in the bottom left side. Psystorm Gaming's Gumiho. Psystorm Gaming's. You're staying around a bunch with a friend named Psy. At least we called him Psy. I believe he would prefer if we called him Psy, but just stuck to Psy all the time. You know how that goes. You just get so used to one pronunciation, the guy is always like, oh, I don't know if I want to correct them, and then, you know what, that just becomes their name. If you have somebody mispronouncing your name, you better correct them, otherwise, you know, that is just going to be your name from then onwards. BYUL, luckily for him, looks like he did have himself a spawning pool first, so well, this is not the best start here for Mr. Gumiho. I think we could all see that right off the bat, losing those Marines. He's gonna try to make a Reaper here. That's gonna buy himself some time to, well, get everything back across the map. Also, micro against these Zerglings here, of course, so they should not be able to interfere too much. Ooh, a nice splitting there from BYUL. Gets a surround on the Marine trying to get away. I really am liking the splitting here from BYUL. He's just trying to get as much distance between him and the other Zerglings that are still around. I mean, he loses all of them, but you know, that was still better than just losing them all in the middle of the map or something. Right? I'm just starting to chase the Reaper instead of just trying to figure out what else you can still get done with those Zerglings. Which in this case was scouting, which is what BYUL chose. Wow. Words. Stumbling across the words. Of course, BYUL could have sent them, or tried to have sent them backwards as well. Maybe keep some of them alive under the ever-watchful gaze of the Queen. Maybe I would have liked that even better. But, hey. What you gonna do? Two Reapers still kind of scurrying about. The barracks made their way back home. This is a big lag spike. What in the what? That is... This is very big lag spike. I think I should just pause the game here. Man, I don't know. It does seem like the BattleNet servers are doing a little bit weird now and again. What happened? I don't know. All of a sudden, the server just had its panties in an uproar. I don't know. It was weird. I looked around to see if I could change anything. I couldn't really. And it went away on its own. So let's hope that will help things out here. Alright, because these players, you know, it's horrible to have these players kind of struggle on something that it's not really in our control. But it seems to be better. Can I... Alright, oh, no, sorry. Thought it would stay on that observers chat, but apparently it don't. Apparently you don't. Okay, Overlord comes in, shoots it down. Search CC is still there. Did he see this third CC? I'm sorry, I'm still a little bit... He did, okay. I'm still a bit like, what happens? I'm trying to still figure it out and trying to think of any way to prevent it happening again. I've landed Viking here. You know what? Overlord blood ain't the only blood this boy is interested in. He's still gonna try to hunt down this Overlord, but 4 queens, that is more than enough to push that backwards. 4 queens on the left side might mean that there's not that many queens protecting the main base, though. As for Hellions will gain entry into that high ground area, the Queen's actually marching the wrong way for the time being. It's going to take a long while before they're there. Info chamber doesn't quite get made. The medevac being targeted, so maybe the Hellions going to feel the pressure to get out a little bit earlier. And does manage to achieve just that. Stays out of the clear here as well. Needs to be careful, those Queens. Still looking for blood, it seems. Seven Mutalisks now being made, distributed amongst the eggs, hatching across all those hatcheries here. 9 of them in total. Could be a little bit of trouble here for BYUL, though. I have to say, making the Mutalisk this early on, if you manage to get across the map with them, absolutely fantastic. But if your opponent's already on the other side of the map, in particular with a bunch of Marines, now that could be troublesome. He doesn't have Baneling speed here, so let's see how well he can get a surround going. The Zerglings maybe a little bit early, but you know what? With the Mutalisk, the Queens, the Zerglings, and well, that bunch really together, it does appear like it was already enough. So you all got to be feeling pretty good about that. That's for sure. To be a bit wary of the other Marines still potentially coming forwards or protecting those bases. He gave away that he does have Mutalisk now, and that is allowing missile turrets to be set up. Main base still empty though. A couple of Widow Mines there, but could come to kind of regret that decision here. Oh wow, he's going to lure them into the Widow Mines. Only one of them gets the detonation. Still means that he lost 3 Mutalisk in total already. It's a third of all the Mutalisk he has. He's making the +1 air weapon, so most likely going to continue to commit into this air route. We would imagine. 4th base for BYUL coming up as, you know what, our Terran player here just tagging along the +1/+1, about to be about halfway. Maybe we'll see a push out of Gumiho when that is nearing completion. Just kind of staring each other in the face here, in the middle of the map. Looking for opportunities. BYUL already set up for a counterattack, I suppose, as soon as this comes in. Widow Mine, nicely dealt with that. Needs to be careful, there is another one, and that is a good connection. Was it good enough, though, to stop this from doing much of anything? I think so, that it might. The Banelings, for a moment I thought they will just go straight towards those SCVs, but instead trying to take on the Marines. Looks like the push of Gumiho also kind of falling apart here. Ooh, that is rough. He's lost a lot of Mutalisk. 5. I guess that is more because he didn't have that many to begin with, right? He didn't have that many to begin with. I like this flank being set up by BYUL. Gumiho doing a little bit of a similar thing with his multi-pronged harassment starting to take place. Gonna try to find whichever area the Zerg's not that well equipped to defend, and so far it's found 2 areas where the Zerg is very well equipped to defend. BYUL's doing a very good job here against Gumiho, I have to say. This might be a long series. Both these players not really the type of players that win the massive tournaments, right? They would love to win something like this to kind of prove themselves. Both kind of in a new team, so again, want to prove themselves. So I'm guessing the way I'm seeing these two players approach this first series here, I think that we might be in for the long haul here. Long couple of macro games. Wouldn't be too surprised if that's what we're going to get out of this. Going up equally overall in the resources lost tab as well. These queens over here, that's a bit of a bummer for our Zerg player, of course. Didn't want to have that going like this, but manages to clean this up here. I'd like to see another transfuse on that queen, please. Please. That's alright. Mutalisk as well on this flank over here. Did we lose any more of them? He's lost 9 in total right now, so he's lost 4 more during that exchange. Were the Widowmines there? There may have been. Let me see. We lost 6 Widowmines in total. I don't know if that is the case then. Single Marine managing to get a detonation right there. Ooh. Widowmine. Almost making quite a wondrous play. Marine attack on the right side. Gumiho getting aggressive here with... okay, a group of units he does manage to still get away with as well. Starting to climb up in that supply. But BYUL's economy up to 93 workers right here. Would like to see him get a bit more aggressive on the edges. See him try and get the aggression off of his back and onto Gumiho's side of the field. Try to stop having this ever-increasing risk of all of his creep tombs being destroyed. Some reasonable Widowmines there, getting a lot of Zerglings, which means that the Banelings actually... Oh no, all those Banelings just rolling right on top of the Thor. That is horrible. Alright, well... After seeing that, I don't think that's any recovery anymore after sending in that many Banelings into Thors when things are going so equally in a way. You kind of are being hard pressed for both these players to not capitulate or kind of lose momentum more so than their opponents. Losing all those Banelings, look at that. Basically, that's what lost him an entire base and an entire mineral line. To be fair, he may have still lost all of this. It very well could have happened. Seeing just the sheer number of forces right now available for Gumiho. And I guess we should have done this. And BYUL just kind of trying to get himself into the lurk attack, but getting hit really, really hard before he had any lurkers on the field. Gumiho wonderfully managing to land that timing, finding a good opportunity with those Thors to just land them on top of all those Banelings. I assume that is what he planned to do because it just worked out so wonderfully well for him. Gotta still be careful for lurkers though, of course. Can have a mean bite. It's the one way that BYUL might be able to get a comeback going here by trading out incredibly efficiently with those lurkers. Oh, Widowmine now do have the quick drilling claws, so things are about to spice up for these mineral lines. BYUL will have to pay attention a bit more so to those locations. Keep his eyes jumping back and forth between the units that he's controlling and the mini-map right there in the bottom left side. He needs to get a good idea of what is coming in where. Unfortunately for him, it's hard to do with most of his creep spread already been eliminated here. Very well spread out bunch of Marines right now, trying to just, well, do even more damage. We have more Marines on the left side here. They are going to get targeted down. Alright, so finally something going into BYUL's favor here. I know that he still has an army, he still has very strong units, but Man, with the damage that he has taken, I'm slightly surprised that he's still giving this as good a bash at that he is. Still 60 army supply versus 90. We have Liberators as well on the field here, which probably means this is just going to be it. All she wrote for BYUL. That Liberator just can't re-siege. There is one single Hydralisk now, though. That might be able to safeguard those Liberators. Although it does take an enormous amount of time to take that down. There we go. Does manage it eventually. Moving on forwards. Got a siege tank. Gumiho really just needs to take out these lurkers here. That's all he needs to do. He's going for battle cruisers. Wow. Okay, was not expecting that, but we are seeing the battle cruisers on the production tab here. As soon as he gets 2 of them, I'm guessing that could very well just be GG. As he is getting 2 of them at the exact same time, so that's really good for him. Especially if all the Hydralisks are now being transformed into lurkers, then that is absolutely wonderful for him. The other Hydralisk now getting targeted down by Marines and Marauders. Battle cruisers show up, BYUL's like, alright, never mind, GG is called. There we are, there we are. Every button has been pressed in the top right side. That's the Red Zerg, doing pretty well for himself. He is in Prep Esports. You got a pretty cool logo, I have to say. I always like it when they get creative with the letters. The R is a bit hard to recognize, I suppose, but no, wait, actually, oh my god, that is cool. No, never mind, the R isn't hard to recognize. Look, they've made the P and the R the same letter. It's one, yeah. Oh, that's a nice find, actually. That's very cool. Sorry, my graphics design's background is kicking in here. This is Deja Vu, isn't it? Well then. Bottom left side, there's a blue Terran player. Fighting for the Psystorm Gamers. It is Gumiho, the Towel Terran himself. Let's go back to this logo. Alright, so I don't know if you've noticed, but yeah, you've got a P over here, right? And then you can use that same figure and then make the R with it. So it's, and then the R also makes the little backwards arrow. I'm not sure why it would be a backwards arrow. I'm not quite sure. Maybe they just like the shape. Could be the case. Not quite sure why these drones are being pulled either. We don't have a spawning pool first this time around. So, I mean, that's a big difference. Probably just wants to try and do damage onto the SCVs. Damage onto the SCVs means less likelihood of these bunkers coming down later down the line. Trying to get on top of the Marine right now. Doesn't quite get it. Goes for the SCV instead. A couple of drones already falling. 3 of them, in fact. 2 more on the way back home. Trying to recuperate some of those HP points. More drones being pulled off the line. Only 5 of them as the bunker starts being placed. We have a spine crawler on the way, though, so I think BYUL should be okay. Theoretically, he should be okay. I think he's done an okay job. But now there is suddenly a Reaper here. BYUL making the hard decision to just stay on top of those Marines. Has to be decisive here. He's made the choice to jump forwards, and he's going to stick with it, and that's going to pay off for him. I got a little bit worried as the Reaper suddenly showed up and the Zerglings were still moving forwards. I thought, oh, this is going to cost him. He's going to have to move backwards or, you know, half second. Maybe just kind of micro the Zerglings backwards for a little bit. Then he's going to keep taking damage. That would be horrible. I think it was the exact right thing he needed to do with the, with just keeping the Zerglings going forwards. And then focus down the bunker behind it. Really securing this area now. It's lost 8lings. You know, he's lost a bit more money overall. But Gumiho here is going to have to send those barracks back home. Quite a journey. Quite a journey indeed. Will BYUL try to make use of this, you know, moment here where there is an opportunity arisen for him. Roach attacks and stuff like this always come in quite handsomely after a Proxy 2 Rex. kind of didn't do its job fully. As we can see, still nothing fighting-wise here on the other side of the map. Gumiho, of course, does have those Reapers keeping tabs on his opponents, so if there were to be, you know, a ton of Zerglings made, hopefully he will be able to, you know, kind of catch wind of that very quickly. So far, not entirely sure what BYUL wants to do. We're not seeing a third base. We're not seeing a Baneling Nest, not a Roach Warren. He's not mining gas necessarily either. He's just making a lot of money right now. So I guess he's going to try to expand. But it just doesn't feel safe to do so with these Reapers still hanging around, I suppose. Oh, wait, there it is. He did make a base. Alright. It's just a little bit later than the third base of Gumiho, you know. Quite a bit later, actually. That is with Gumiho doing the double racks as well. Alright. Starting to get a little bit worried here for Mr. BYUL. Starting to get a little bit worried. Maybe he anticipated more aggression to come out. I mean, he went up to 5 queens off of the 2 base. 5 queens with a spine crawler and this amount of Zerglings as well. Right? It does seem like you're just going to have to make something happen right now. It might be a Nidus Worm. It might be. I'm not entirely certain. But he's getting his lair. He's getting the Baneling Nest right now. He did make himself an Evo Chamber, but no upgrades just quite yet. Another little thing right there that could indicate that he does want to get aggressive. Nope, never mind. Does grab the Carapace upgrade right now. So yeah, I'm confused. I'm confused. Not the most optimal way that BYUL is taking this route, I want to say. Maybe just misreading the situation, right? It happens. It happens. It's very easy to do in a game of StarCraft 2. We are able to see the base of Gumiho at all times, but, I mean, BYUL doesn't even know that there is a third base, right? He could still be under the impression that Gumiho is on 2 base. Which is kind of upsetting, because this Halberd push is actually doing as much as you would kind of expect it to do off of a 2 base push. Versus a 3 base push of the Zerg, but instead it's like the opposite. Yeah. Yes. Nope. And then again, those things, they give a glimmer of hope again for Mr. BYUL, right? Just Marines jumping forwards, trying to get picked off as well. Exactly, command move Marines. There's a couple of Marines on the rally point right there coming in, being like, hello guys, we're here for the war. I've never seen a Zerg before, but once I do, I'm sure I'll shoot it. Oh, what's this? All these dogs are biting me. What's going on? Who's in charge of these dogs? Right, well, guys, I don't know. Ooh. Okay, we don't have the thingamajig. But we do know that there's a lot of SCVs going down. And again, it is still 50 workers versus 50 workers, so... We'll have to ask BYUL back for party leader so we can get the... stuff back. All that little graphs and such. Yep, Gumiho's still in a very good position here. I completely agree. 3 more barracks on the way. He's getting his +1/+1. Those are going to finish up before the +1 melee attack comes in to cooperate with the +1 armor, which is already available. But yeah, 1 upgrade advantage for BYUL for the time. It's going to change into a 1 upgrade advantage for Gumiho here in a not too distant future. Come on, get those SCVs. You know you want them. Doesn't get too many of them. I think like 2 of them in total. Maybe 3. More banelings here being attempted to throw into the meat grinder. We'll just sit here, wait for those to hit. Gets the supply depot, that's something. And alright, I think that's GG. I think that's GG. I mean, it's 60 army supply strong now for Gumiho. 48 of BYUL. His run bys have not done anything. And this is... well, this is gonna hurt. Come on, banelings! There we go. Oh, that's so satisfying, isn't it? Oh. That's a good amount. That's like 15 workers. Alright, now... maybe if BYUL doesn't take any damage... he may have just bought himself a way back into this. That's the fun part about banelings and mineral lines, right? They can turn the game upside down as quickly as you can find yourself stuck in what you call it, quicksand. And suddenly it's like, oh boy, what happens here? What happens here? Now I'm entirely stuck. Can't move. What are mines? Ooh, this could be good. 1, 2, 3. He drops all 3 of them here? Now, I say that's a little crazy. Oh, I love that. Nice dodge. Grabs himself a spore crawler. More harassment taking place, though. 2 medeffects. Into the natural, into the main. Hopefully attack a mineral line. That is less defended than the other ones. Another assault force, of course, coming across in the middle of the map here. Does want to, okay, evacuate these marines. But these ones over here, good shot at getting rid of most of the creep. This is about like, what, 30-40% of the creep that I just got, pretty much. At least creep tumor-wise. Doing a good job. He still has Hellbats here as well. How many Hellbats did he make? He went up to 12 Hellbats in total. That's quite a couple. Still finding them in that area as well. Now we have 3 groups of medeffects, all separately doing their own thing, and we might have another big assault force here coming through the middle as well at the same time. 2 Reapers claiming that watchtower. For the time being, this could be nasty. The Queen not really moving into that position, so they are going to get out. These 2 medeffects still sitting still in the middle of the map. We have the push coming though. As the medeffects on the right, still alive, still alive. Widow mines into this base, getting a couple of workers. Reasonable amount, 20 workers in total now have gone down. Banelings, oh, getting a little bit close there. I thought he should have just tried to commit with those banelings, honestly, but you know what? Good dodging the widow mines there by BYUL overall. And good multi-pronged harassment here from Gumiho, I want to say also. Let's see. Good start to switch it up here a little bit. Those banelings getting awkwardly close to big cluster submarines, but the splitting is good enough from Gumiho. Might be able to start pushing now. Might be able to start pushing now into some real Zerg territory. There is, of course, a enormous just plaque of creep still on the ground here. It's going to make it difficult to push in against this amount of banelings still. Let's see if Gumiho manages to make it work. Oh, a massive connection there with the Widow Mine. Moving on forwards. Marauders need to be in front here, tanking that damage. Nice pre-splitting is definitely being established here. May want to see more aggressive movements out of Gumiho. I would not be too upset. And here we go. Great target fire. And now this is the moment where he's going to start stimming in Oh, there's still a lot more banelings than you might expect to be there already. But Gumiho, quick with the fingers. The towel does not hindrance him today. He will be able to break BYUL once again. Alright. Moving things along. We'll need Gumiho 2 more victories here. BYUL, of course, needs to grab 4 victories in order to snap this victory. It's getting close. One more game and Gumiho is going to be on match point, of course, and that's going to be a tricky situation. Gumiho going for the command center first play instead of the CC first, or the double Rex first play, somewhere across on the map. BYUL definitely looking for it with his overlords. He has been incredibly lucky with his overlord path in the previous 2 games, though, to be fair. This time around, he's not going to find anything, and that might give him some shivers, not finding those 2 barracks, because he might just be missing them with the overlords, right? He's going to send one of those overlords back, or no? What was that? What was he bringing over here? Overlord's still going. I guess it's a drone. I guess it's a drone. He's going to check for any bunkers here, maybe? No? Alright, he's fine. He's fine. He knows he's fine. Oh, he is still checking. Oh, wait, a quick third. Oh, there we go. Alright, alright. I like it. Seems like a lot better than the previous one. Right? Seeing how the quicker spawning pool and such weren't quite working, sticking on that 2 base for a long time in that second game that we just saw, definitely put him on the back foot. Could still be on the back foot though, of course. Gumiho, if he throws down a 3rd CC here as well, it's not going to be too far apart between the 2. I would like to still then give the advantage to Gumiho in a way. Seeing how he stacks up against BYUL so far, you know. It does appear like BYUL needs a bit more of an advantage to finish out this game rather than Gumiho would need it. How many Zerglings do we end up making here? Only 6, alright. Only 6. It's a fair amount. It's going to be able to keep tabs on your opponents. Would have kept him safe against some Reapers or something like that trying to come in. He's got the Queens there as well. Singular Hellion, of course, also could be coming in as the scout, but so far Gumiho just neglecting all sorts of scouting. I don't think he's even sent an SCV across now. He's just doing this fully blind. Going full macro on the 2 base. And then behind it, probably one hell of an attack is most likely to be coming through here. With the help of all these Marines. Couple of medeffects. Shouldn't be too bad. May even be able to grab himself the combat shield as well. Right, start the combat shields. He does have 300 or gas stacked up right now, so that does seem to be the plan. There we go. 3rd base as well. And 2 medeffects. Yep, there we go. Factory. Huh. Scouting factory. Oh, it's gonna land it. Interesting place to put that factory down. I guess you have a little bit of an extra choke points here now. Makes it harder for these Marines to move from base to base, though, a little bit. Not by too much, though. Scouting Zerglings getting picked off. It was for Overlord. Right. Well, I mean, he has that other command center here as well, about to be ready, but I guess he wanted to cover up his. I guess that's a good call, Fencer. Jumping in forwards. Yeah, does need to get himself out of there. With the amount of run-bys and such that were happening for BYUL, I really don't mind it over here. Having a little bit of an extra choke point, though, I kind of like it. I like the idea, anyway. BYUL feeling a little bit more comfortable with the circling numbers now. Needs to be wary, though, of course. Can't afford to get himself into too much trouble here by overmaking the links right now, right? If you're incredibly safe right now, it might just mean that you don't have enough drones that if the Terran were to just kind of move backwards, not lose too much, then it could put you as a Zerg player in a lot of trouble just because you made too much to crush this attack with. Let's see. Well, that is an extreme crushing of this attack, that's for sure. No baneling speed yet. Marines get out of there? Yeah, they do get out of there. Well, unfortunate moment for that siege tank to come in. It's gonna lose another one. It's been losing siege tanks left, right, and center. Again, kind of struggling to get this aggression going this time around. +1/+1 has finished up now, though, for Gumiho. Only the Carapace upgrade available for BYUL. Medivacs covering up with the Marines here, but the Zerglings are already coming. Should be a pretty good fight for those Marines, though, as long as there's no banelings here up against that wall. And gets them a little bit low, picks them up before they go down so he can heal them up again. Just trying to be efficient here. Being somewhat successful. It's a shame about all those siege tanks that did go kablooey, but still making some headway on the mineral counts. BYUL definitely in the best position he's been in so far in this best of 7, though, I would say. Still a solid work account. Gumiho's economy is growing at a rapid pace as well, though, and that is maybe one of the parts that still has me a little bit worried for BYUL. I'm not entirely convinced that maybe the late game macro of BYUL is going to be on par with that of Gumiho. It does seem like the further the game goes on that Gumiho just starts taking more and more advantages. It's kind of out of a macro kind of eye. And that is happening. Quite a bit of creep spread happening as well, to be fair. Like, it's really good creep spread this game, actually, especially in comparison to the other ones. Nice little targeting there. Let's see. There are the Mutalisk now as well, starting to participate. Might be able to finally put an end to these medevacs roaming around, but then again, I mean, these bases, they look very exposed as well. If he could just hide those Mutalisks, get himself into a good position to start punishing the SCV lines, he could be able to set himself up for quite a fantastic position in this game, I would say. It does need to find that opportunity, though, and here it is going to be. Those siege tanks once again a little bit exposed. I'm not sure if I like this deviation of the attack on the right side, kind of walking into the tank fire, and as well a big concave of Marines right there. Mutalist still going to be able to do a whole lot of damage, though, as Gumiho realizes he's not going to be in a good position if he's just going to attempt to run after those Mutalisks. Will go for the offensive, but the banelings were there. Mutalisk at the backside. 16 workers have been picked off, but they were scurried a long way back to the Zerg side of the field. Still nothing in the main base, still nothing in the natural. I feel like that could have been a winning moment here with those Mutalisk for BYUL. If he had stayed a little bit more aggressive with them. And again, maybe he didn't realize how well those Banelings were going to connect later down the line. I mean, he doesn't really have that much splash damage, right? He didn't make Widow Mines, and his siege tank numbers never really got up to any type of scary amount. Like, 2 is pretty much the most we've seen sieged up anywhere at one time. And that's just not enough against, you know, this quantity of Ling Baneling. Finds some more SCVs, look at that. Finds the siege tanks once again. He knows those are priority targets. Bit surprised that Gumiho is still going for, well, has been going for siege tanks for so long. Now he's going for the Thors instead. Try to combat the Mutalisk that way, or be able to zone them out a lot easier. This is a big attack coming in, multiple angles. Marines, a massive concave though, but there's the Banelings right on the money. Mutalisk just got to be a little bit careful, a little bit wary of those Thors, but they are low HP. Magic books may have been able to have those Thors disappear as well. You're playing it safe though, doesn't want to just, well, cross his fingers and go for it, I suppose. We'll wait up for more of his production to be coming in. He is going to be able to reproduce a lot quicker after all. That 4th base of Gumiho getting awkwardly low on the HP. Again, probably a fight he could take with these Mutalisk. Yeah, there we go. Now he's getting a bit more confidence, starting to realize how much it's in his favor with the Mutalisk numbers right now. How much of a struggle it is for Gumiho to do anything about it. Mutalisk, please keep flying forwards. There we go. Oh, that's 3 Tors now. That is a problem. Y'all, he is overstaying his welcome. He is overstaying his welcome on an enormous amount. Thors coming back in again. 3 Thors about to drop down. Okay, only 2 of them managed to hit the ground there. Not enough space for the 3rd one. 10 more workers did fall for Gumiho, but he still has all his bases. He has an alright amount of orbital command centers, right? He has 4 of them. So I think economically he's still somewhat okay. He's still somewhat okay. It's just his splash damage that I'm really concerned about. It just doesn't seem to be really there. Still nothing of a Widow Mines or anything of the sorts. Some Marines will have to move backwards here. Try to deal with those Mutalisk. Only 3 workers have gone down so far in this one, but may still be able to pick off more. Definitely will. Don't overstay your welcome right now, though, Mr. BYUL. Has the Lurk attack available. Lurk attack might be the final nail in the coffin here. Vipers coming in as well as BYUL just looking extremely tough right now in this one. 4 siege tanks on the high ground could be a difficult peninsula to deal with, but there's still going to be a lot of creep here. 2 creep tumors on the backside. Not sure if Gumiho is fully aware. Counter-attack is going to be thwarted for the time being. Still, that creep making me ever so anxious. Please scan it. Please scan it now. It's not going to be able to do it. And again, we have this Baneling attack coming in. Whole bunch of stuff being blown apart. On the other side, Gumiho moving forwards with his 134 army supply strong. Manages to grab one of those lurkers. Almost grabs another one. More lurkers about to be ready. Need to get themselves into the ground though. Gumiho, I think Gumiho is doing this BYUL starting to panic a little bit, heading back with the most of his forces. Those two Vipers right there, they are going to be crucial if BYUL is still going to win this. He needs the perfect spells. But where are you going to find the perfect spells here with this army so well spread out? Maybe coming in with the Mutalisk on the backside right here might be a good call. Kill those siege tanks and then just try to blinding cloud the Marines and Marauders so your Banelings can get a good chance to roll in. Then again, we don't have any creep left here anymore, nor any Mutalisk to snipe down the siege tanks. And you know what? I mean, I hate to say it, guys, but if BYUL loses this game as well, I'm not quite sure if we're going to see him win a game at all in this series. It's starting to look like that more and more so. It'll be a very quick day. He's starting to stabilize a little bit here. Can't believe Gumiho's looking to fight this. I guess Thors are pretty good against Hydralisk as well. The more you know. GG is called. Well played by Gumiho. Man, he's on a tear today. Alright. Now we will see whether or not Gumiho is going to be able to take this 4-0, or if it's going to be a series that is still in contention. So far, BYUL going to be aggressive here with that spawning pool first. Might be under the anticipation of a proxy 2 Rex. Might be because he wants to get aggressive. So far, no gas being taken. So to me, this looks like he's just looking to be a bit defensive with this. Not aggressive. Still 6 links though on that production. We'll see how the Reaper Zergling dance is going to unfold itself in this one. Didn't have Gumiho go over with an SCV scout, so that Reaper most likely will still be sent across the map. The Zerglings, let's see what path they're going to be taken. So far, you know what, okay, I don't think you'll be spotted. No, you might actually be spotted. You might actually be spotted, let's see. Especially if the Zerglings go through the middle now. Reaper, yeah, wow. Gumiho knows. It's like, well, if he's going to send Zerglings, he's not going to send them through the middle. He's going to send them through the top side here. Try to avoid the Reaper, so I'll just send the Reaper on a, you know, non-optimal path. A pathway that takes him longer to get to my opponent, but at least if there are Zerglings, I'll be able to see them. And wow, he just finds them instantly. To be fair, they could have been coming through the bottom as well, right? Gumiho just getting a little bit lucky there. And takes out pretty much all of those Zerglings. Let's see. 3 Zerglings killed so far. Yeesh. Yeesh. Scouting still being done as well by Gumiho with that Reaper. Still fulfilling his scouting obligations. He's gotta be feeling pretty good. Gotta be feeling pretty good. Looking to see what BYUL has in store. No quick third base this time around, of course, with that quick spawning pool. It's appearing like he wants to stick on the 2 base for a longer period of time after his spawning pool first, and then there we go. That is the 3rd. Now being constructed. Armory coming up. Same for Hellions. Could be the Hellbat push right here. That could be quite strong against somebody that went for the spawning pool first and absolutely everything went sideways. We do still have the Queens. The Queen's kind of setting up here. The Overlord, it looks like, has been able to scout this, giving BYUL a fighting shot to defend against this. Having made all the Zerglings that he needs. If he gets us around on those Hellions before they turn into Hellbats, doesn't quite manage to do so. Would have been a daring play anyway, right? Queens target down the Hellbats right now, and they are getting healed up. Really would like to see them poke away at that medevac. The medevac, unfortunately though, for BYUL, only falling now, as these Hellbats still looking pretty darn tough. 2 more Hellions just show up, and now on top of the drone line here. It's gonna lose a lot of them. Oh boy, this might be a very quick best of 7, guys. Well, at least we still have Hero Marine versus Serral after this, because this was quite something. 11 drones right then and there. He's got more Hellions. He's got a 3rd base on the way. He's got a Banshee now. I mean, in what universe will BYUL be able to do anything from this point onwards? Like, whatever strategy could you come up with that's going to make this alright again? And I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe just the Baneling circling all in. It wouldn't be the worst. Banelings do pretty good against Hellions and Hellbats. Especially if you have enough Zergs. Or the Zerglings. There's not that many Marines around. Maybe. But playing this game macro from this point onwards, I don't think is going to be able to really help him out. I don't think it's going to be helping him out. That Banshee, though. 5 kills. 5 kills is good. In this situation, 5 kills is fantastic. There we go. There it is. Baneling, Zergling, all in is going to be the choice of BYUL here. He's realized he's taken too much damage, and he's right. He is definitely right. Those Hellions, though, they do have their speed, as the Banelings do not. The Zerglings can't quite get us around on these little pesky cars. We'll be able to get a good clean detonation on 13 workers, but that is nowhere near what you needed to do there. You needed to kill your opponent, and that's not what's happened. GG is called. Gumiho takes game number 4 as well, and he will be the winner